after such a bad injury?
I wish I would have had him in the spring. Lathan's done a phenomenal job. First and foremost, he's an outstanding young man. He loves football. He loves everything about the game. Extremely versatile, but more importantly, he's fun to coach. He wants to be the very best. So and we've got a great relationship. So it's been great to see him blossom this fall.
Did you think you'd have him for this fall? At what point did you know that you'd have him?
I knew I would. To what degree? Thought we had to limit him a little bit, but ever since he's been able to get on the field, he's been full go. And he's the type of young man that you want to coach because he never wants to come out, doesn't want to take a play off. I've been fortunate enough to coach guys like that in my past, and they turned out to be really, really good football players. So I'm excited to see what he does this fall.
What makes Cameron Martinez a guy that Tim both want?
His versatility. Cam played quarterback in high school. Obviously, his accolades in high school, and then he comes here. Extremely smart, extremely bright young man. Once again, works hard, loves football, processes football, and he's a great athlete. So for him to be able to bounce out at corner at times and nickel, that just speaks volumes of who he is as an athlete, and more importantly, how high his football IQ is for him to be able to transition like that.
There were some folks in the spring who talked about him as a potential breakout guy who's really making progress. Did that just carry over into the summer and the fall, or where have you seen him take?
Yeah, Cam's still growing. Obviously he's got big play ability, but just within the system, he's still learning. How to be a pro each and every day. He's still learning the game. He's hungry. So I expect great things from him. He's definitely going to play and contribute to us doing great things on the field.
How much do you benefit from older guys coming in as a first-year coach in this program, and the amount of experience they have and comfortability they have with each other?
There's no greater lesson than having experience in the past. So, previous jobs that I've had in the past, I've come in and had senior elders, statesmen, the thing for them is you got to gain their trust. Before we can do anything, I had to gain these guys' trust, and we're a family. We spent time outside of this building. They know my family. I know where they're from and their families, and so every day in the meeting, every day on the field, it's great chemistry, and they trust me. I trust them, and it's cool to coach young men that want to be the very best on and off the field, and they're hungry. They want to be great, and as a coach, that's motivating in itself every time I wake up in the morning.
Terry, what did you think the first time you were banded and adjusted for position roles instead of just free and strong?
You coach long enough, there's all kinds of names that come up, so you just roll with the punches.
Did you get any input on that? Or?
I was like, whatever you want to do, Coach knows. I'll coach him up.
Right. What to you makes the decision for who you're going to have at banded adjuster? How do you differentiate what those skill sets are?
I'm going to play the very best players. They're all interchangeable, really and truthfully. From the nickel to the adjuster to the bandit, they're all interchangeable. Each and every young man in that room knows that, and the best players are going to play. And the guys that have earned the right day in and day out, that have put in the work, are going to play, and they know that. And so competition, makes us all better. And that old adage, iron sharpens iron, it's real in the room. So they know when they come in that room and they come on the field that they have to bring it every day. So, but each and every position is interchangeable.
Has Jim's approach, or just his way of seeing football, way of seeing defense, has that shown you anything new schematically? Like what sort of things have you feel like you've learned or had your eyes open to over these first few months?
We balance each other really, really well. Jim sees the big picture, and then we come in with the details and the nuances, and he leans on us. He leans on our experience, our knowledge, and we're pros in the room. It's a great match. He's got a great vision. He knows what he wants it to look like. He's cast the vision for us to carry it out, and that's what we're doing.
What is it about Court Williams that makes him a team captain?
Court's a tremendous worker, and he's consistent on and off the field. He's not a big hoorah guy. He's more of a lead by example, but he's also great with the players. He's able to pull guys aside and talk to them and just lead them, and so it didn't surprise me, when he got voted captain. Ever since I stepped foot on campus, Court's been consistent and been that rock, you know, and so I'm happy for him. And obviously that phone call to his parents was awesome, you know, because they were just full of joy.
Perry, Lathan a couple of times went out of his way to thank you for helping him deepen his football IQ. Just wondering how you've seen him sort of develop and seeing the bigger picture from the safety position over this offseason.
You know, one of the things for me, you know, teaching those guys is it's always cool when you know your calling. You know, I'm very passionate, you know, I'm a teacher, you know, and so I want to make the game as simple as possible for them, you know, so I put in a lot of time, a lot of long nights, early mornings to make sure that, you know, I'm the best teacher they've ever had. And I truly believe that, you know, coaching is teaching, and teaching is the ability to inspire learning. And so I want them every time they come in the room that they're excited about what they're going to get out of that meeting to apply to the field. And so that's the cool thing. And so all I need is an open mind and an open heart, and I'll pour everything I got into them. And so, you know, it's just cool to see young men blossom. That's all I want, is to see them, you know, enjoy the game that they love and make plays.
How are you surprised? Maybe you've been asked this, I thought this would happen, but were you surprised at all at just how fast Lathan was able to start doing stuff again, to be basically ready at the start of camp after breaking his leg in January?
No, you know, the thing, you know, that nobody really saw was his work ethic, his rehab each and every day in the spring, in the summer. I saw that, you know, and we talk a lot about unseen hours and unrequired work. And he's a young man that puts that in each and every day. So it didn't surprise me that he was ready to go at camp because of all the time, all the work he put in when nobody was around, but him and the trainer, or him and the strength staff, or him and the physical therapist. I saw those things. And that's a unique skill set, and that's a unique toughness that, you know, he has. And, you know, obviously he's, you know, bearing the fruits of his labor in practice right now.
What impresses you about his abilities, his game, his versatility? Just what's that?
He can get from point A to point B pretty fast, and he's violent, he's physical, and he, like I said, he loves the game. You know, he comes in with a smile on his face, he's full of energy, you know, and he's great to be around. But I mean, he's violent, and he'll knock fire out of you, you know, and I like it.
Perry, earlier in the fall, Jim talked about the fact he wanted to be down on the field during the games. It was probably going to be either you or Tim up in the box, and they're trying to try it out during the scrimmages. How has that gone, and have you guys decided which one of you guys is up in the box during games?
It's still a fluid situation. You know, I guess you got to kind of wait until see September 3rd.
Have you done that before? Have you been upstairs before?
I've done both.
What is the role? What's the difference between the roles of the guy up in the box and the guy on the sideline?
I think if you're on the field, there's something about looking a young man in his eye, him seeing the fire in your eye, you seeing the fire in his eye, and being able to connect in those moments before they go on the field. I think there's something to that. I think it's just about the fit, you know, about the dynamics and the chemistry of the staff. You know, I think that's how you make those decisions. You know, we got a great staff, you know, and we're pros, and everybody respects each other, and everybody's great teachers, you know, and everybody's experts in their field. So it's a great situation.
Perry, you have, it seems like you have 5 or 6 guys who can play tomorrow if you had a game. How do you envision all of them getting on the field, or do you think you'll pick 3 starters and kind of roll with those guys?
It's just the flow of the game. We have different packages where guys have roles in in that package. So, you know, my message is always be a champion in your role, you know, and you know, they love each other. We got a great thing in the room. You know, there's a great bond, and everybody's rooting for each other. And you know, to have 6 guys that you can honestly say can go win for us, that's a unique thing, you know, and you know, I'm blessed. And so they know they got to come to work every day. You know, they know that. And so, you know, that's a great thing about the room, you know. But, you know, everybody has a role. You know, they understand their role. It's clear cut. There's no gray area about their role. And so for them, you know, there's no issues there. And they know if they put in the work, they'll have an opportunity to play when the lights come on.
What specifically does Lathan bring? What specifically does Lathan bring to this defense that can enable him to be an asset for you guys?
You know, obviously last year he played nickel, So just being able to play that in the fall, last year, brings a uniqueness to now he has a new scheme where now he's playing, the adjuster, he could play the bandit. I want safeties that can do it all, and I don't say that, just to say it, but I want guys that are versatile because at the end of the day, I want the best guys on the field. So, they have to know more than one position because we meet together. And so they're hearing the same teaching, the same message at each position. So my expectation is that what each position does, because at the end of the day, if we get in a bind, okay, I want to put the guys in that's going to be able to make plays and we don't miss a beat.
Perry, what are your early impressions of Sonny Styles?
He's a beast. He's a big boy. The biggest thing about Sonny, he's 17 years old and you would think he's 22. Very, very mature, very humble, no entitlement. He just came in and worked. Very quiet, embraced the culture, embraced the role of, learning. And he's really, really smart. He's really, really smart, and Sonny's got a bright future.
There are a lot of talent at UC, but were you bowled over or surprised by the depth of talent here?
No, it's the Ohio State. That's how it should be. And so by no means was I surprised. I think the thing that I had to make sure that I did a good job is develop the young men to maximize their God-given ability and talents.
Can Sonny contribute at all this year?
It's still fluid.
Were you shocked at all at how quickly Lathan got back, given how severe his injury was?
No, just like I told the man earlier, he put in the work. He put in the work all spring, all summer, when nobody was around. I saw that. I saw the determination. I saw the look in his eye. I saw the fire. So it didn't surprise me at all. And that's motivating in itself for me as his coach to see that, he could have hung his head. And there were some long days, but he stuck it out and he grinded. And so it doesn't surprise me at all.
Did he pick up on things pretty quickly once he got back on the field?
He had been putting in the work all offseason. So it just didn't start when we got on the field. And that's, like I said, unseen hours and unrequired work. So there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't see that these young men are putting in. That way, their product on the field is what it looks like. And so it doesn't surprise me at all.
Hey, Coach, I want you to just I'm sorry, guys, but just along those lines. So I was talking to one of the trainers, and like all summer long, all spring and all summer, when there was breaks, Lathan stayed here and was working. So what he's saying about putting the effort in, he had an event last night, and you two came back here and worked. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And that's what we have here. That's what we're building and continually building here is that type of mentality. When we say BIA, best in America, we can't just say that. That can't be just, talk. That can't be just some slogan. That's got to be real. So we live that every day. Not only the players, but myself and Coach Walton.
What was that?
Two more questions, guys. We got to get them out of here.
Who's the best teammate?
Who's the best teammate?
Yeah.
They all are.
Who pushes that tries to raise that bar for everybody?
They all do. It's kind of like my sons at home. My youngest son tries to outdo my oldest son, and my oldest son tries to let him know that I'm the oldest. You're not outdoing me. So, within the room, they push each other. They build each other up, and that's what I've always envisioned in every room I've ever been in, is to build that camaraderie to where, we're not going against each other. We're going with each other. And that's the cool thing. Every day I walk in the room to see young men. Obviously, they all want to play, and they know that if they put in the work, they will play, but they're also pushing each other to be the very best, and nobody's trying to step over anybody.
Hey, Perry,
What's it been like
back last night from that event? Like, what kind of work do you put in with Lathan? And, what time was it?
I'd have to, basically, he wanted to watch more film. He wants to be the very best, and it's my job, and I embrace that to anytime a young man wants to put in extra time, I love that, and for him to be hungry like that and want to make sure that he's airtight and razor sharp on his assignments and allowing the game to slow down in his mind and his eyes, so I would say I got home at a decent time to at least see my boys go to bed before they get up for the morning.
Okay, so it wasn't the next day?
No. I wouldn't do that to a young man.
Yeah, okay.
What's it been like
Last
having
question.
Tanner McAllister in the room this offseason as you've installed the defense, somebody that has some knowledge of playing in it before? What kind of effect has that had on the guys?
No, it's been great. Tanner came in, very humble. You know, he just wanted to embrace, you know, Ohio State and our culture, you know, and obviously him being in the scheme, you know, has been extremely beneficial for the guys. But at the same point in time, you know, Tanner embraced what we were doing and the little nuances and additions that we've added to Coach Knowles' defense and the development piece. And, you know, he came to Ohio State for a reason. You know, he wanted to be the best of the best. And so, you know, I'm glad to have Tanner here, and he's done an outstanding job, you know, since he stepped foot on campus.
You mentioned that Lathan can play all three positions. Is there one that you think he's best at or where he'll play the most?
It's still fluid, you know. I can't answer that with conviction right now.
Great. Coach, thank you very much.